mind's not mine and it won't forget. But you bring me back from my darkness black, 'cause the soul in me and the heart I have for you, it bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to life. Oh, you bring me to life. Now you bring me back. Bring me to
I stopped on my side, tried to run on a faulty line. I'm safe only, even though we burn from the light I bleed. But she bring me back, not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Oh, you bring me to
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime, I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And
somebody. You say you wanna be somebody.
And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright, it's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night, one more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, oh,
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We got a 3-2-1, but we didn't get a go. It always goes on the go, Missy. You gotta know that.
Sounded like you were gonna bring us in like Mr. Rogers there. Not gonna
Hello, everybody. Just taking my shoes off. I hope you've had a good day. We're ready to go into our first game of the day here. We've got 4 lined up today. It's a full broadcast. Nemiga versus Pro100 going to start us. My name's Mitch. With me is the beautiful Dean, who you can see a little bit closer than me. I'm sitting further back. I was told to stay away for beautifying the stream reasons. And Dean, how you doing, buddy? I mean, it has been a long time since we've worked together at this point.
You know, you've just like completely ditched me, Mitch. Nah, I'm only messing.
I'm sorry.
It's good to see you've got your studio set up now. I know you've had to drop out of a couple broadcasts because you were in the middle of finishing it. But yeah, we've got you back now. We've got a full day of broadcasts. And hopefully it's going to be a good one. We have Pro100 and Nemiga here to kick things off. It's maybe not the most exciting game of the day, but I do think it could be a close one.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be the highlight of the evening, but with it being Vertigo is certainly a little bit of unique spin on the night. We don't see this every single day. Pro100 on the terrorist side. Knife Round's already gone down. And look at the utility. We're seeing a little bit there for Nickelback. He's got a smoke and a Molotov. I'm curious to see where they take things. I haven't been seeing a lot of Vertigo, really, when I've been casting. It's always been on other streams. It looks like they're going straight for the A play. Big fan of this straight up the ramp. But they've lost a player off the bat.
It is only Lollipop on this bomb site at the moment, though, so there's the opportunity for them to push forward, as you pointed out, a bit of utility to work with as well. Really the goal for Lollipop to stay alive, see if he can find another couple of kills, and so far he's been quite effective. Has them a 2-man advantage as the bomb does get planted. Nice little nade alongside the spam on towards the bomb site, gets rid of World Edit quickly, and with that left all on towards Nickelback and Demasick. And I mean, it's doable. 3 players down pretty low right now. They have the Glocks, they can get off a few shots, maybe find some quick headshots. But it's going to be tough, especially as that smoke goes down. Jo already looking to try and stick the bomb. He actually wasn't the player with the defuse kit, so they swap it out. Speedak going to be hopping on it, but they've still got plenty of players to actually go ahead and cover. Nickelback, he's pinned in on sandbags, and unfortunately can't do anything about it. I doubt he's going to survive, but I mean, almost gets himself 1 more kill in the end. Extra $300, I mean, that's not too bad.
And that's it. I mean, a little bit of cash, get the kill, cost them the armor. They're probably going to have to reinvest into it once they were lit up anyways. But a first round for Nemiga. And Dean, you've been telling me these guys were not the most impressive for you throughout the season so far in the games that you've been seeing. And indeed, looking at the results, I definitely would echo that sentiment. Versus Pro100, who my last impression of was a little bit ago, but they were looking relatively decent. I mean, Vertigo kind of throws me out completely because I haven't seen either of these teams on Vertigo recently, so I'm not sure how to read into how we've ended up in the best of 1. But the fact, if it's a best of 1, you may be pretty confident that the teams are comfortable with it, because at worst, it's going to be their 4th worst map. So it's in their top 4.
Yeah, I mean, for Pro100, I don't think they've played it a lot. I think they played it like 3 or 4 times, but they haven't lost it yet. On the other hand, Nemiga, they've played it a few times, haven't had many wins, but they did have some close losses against some good teams, such as Sprout. They lost 16-14. Hang on, MDS, I was going to say it looked like he was going to peek forward. He maybe could have caught a couple of players off guard. Unfortunately, he decides to just remain a little bit more passive. Presuming, I guess, that Pro100 are still going to bring it towards this ramp, but in the meantime, being rerouted back towards the B-bomb site, this is where Pro100 want to end it. And for the moment, I think it is only 1 player here to defend. Yeah, Lollipop. So, I mean, we've seen him do it on the pistol round over on the A-bomb site. Now he has the M4. And he has 3 opponents, soon 4, coming up towards him on this B-bomb site.
Not the easiest of holds to make happen. I've just unplugged all of my monitors, so you'll have to take over for a sec, Dean. I don't know. I literally I'm on the other side of the room. I don't know how I did that.
Okay.
I'm freaked out.
Mitch manages these things. He is he's short, like, so he couldn't have even reached if he tried. So I don't know how he's done it. But a 4-on-4 MDS did pull back 1 kill while Mitch was somehow breaking his entire setup. This time they're going to actually bring it back towards A. There's very little time. If Jo can get even 1 kill here, I was going to say that could be enough to hold them off. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. The bomb just about going to be going down in time. That was quite close there. Not a comfortable plant for Pro100, but they made it happen. And now it's only Lollipop and Box. Having $150 each, having no money left in the reserve either. I don't think they've really been given any options other than to just start running away. I mean, that's an upgrade for Box at least. Or is it? No, I think he just got himself another MP9. Or was it a Deagle even he upgraded towards, I believe. Either way, they should save both of these weapons. I don't think Prosto are really in a spot themselves where they can afford to really try and hunt these down. They want to keep at least 3 players alive here just so they can start building up some money for themselves. Get a little bit of financial security going into these opening rounds. Have you returned, Mitch?
I figured it out. Yeah, we're all good. That was so weird. Both of them at once. What the hell? So, Dean, I missed that round completely. As I was leaving, I heard you talking some smack about me, and that's all I got.
Was I
So-
talking? I don't know if I was. I think I said you were short and you couldn't.
You did.
Couldn't have reached the monitors even if you tried. But I wasn't talking that much smack.
That's what I mean. I had to jump up to reach them. It's okay. I got it eventually. But here we are, 1-1. Prosto answering back. They're looking solid. Weak buy for Nemiga. Couple of pistols. They've gone for the 4, so it's an important round. Early ramp aggression coming in over towards the A bomb site. They've got their smokes down. They're looking for spams. Nothing really being found for them just yet. For Prosto, the objective here, slow this round down. You know you're not up against the best of buys. A couple weapons saved over is the most you really have to worry about, but don't get caught off by any random pistols playing those close angles. I think they've got mid control there. 2 great frags to open it up. Now they're going forward alone, though. Bit of a mistake from Yakindar. Luckily, the overextension came out to allow MDS to be dropped. Now they can just group up, hit a bomb site. They're pretty much guaranteed, like, worst case scenario, 4 versus 1. But they are still slowing it down and waiting for aggression to come through from Nemiga. They could really still get some rewards for this. Because with a minute left, the CT side are going to have to make a gamble eventually, and whether that's in stacking a bomb site or making a push for information somewhere, there was the opportunity, and they've seized it quite well, boxing down to 22 health.
Not ideal right now. I think with that they'll call for the rotation. As you can see, Lollipop has come in now. He's got himself that M4, but against 4, as you said, I mean, Prosto, as long as they can trade this out efficiently, they really shouldn't be worrying too much. They still have a decent amount of time, 35 seconds left on the clock. So they're waiting to see if maybe anyone again decides to get aggressive from the side of Nemiga, but eventually we'll have to just, of course, move forward. Oh, nice little gap in that smoke for Lollipop to work with. Fortunately, doesn't get him to kill, just a little bit of damage to nade then towards the ramp. Not going to be able to connect either, so pretty much forced out a bomb site at this point. Nicely placed Molotovs and smokes. A spam through the smoke as well from World that actually gets the kill. And I love his picture. I want to point that out. I love a lot of the pictures there for Prosto. Waylanders is interesting as well.
Yeah, they've changed up.
Nickelbacks.
Last time I saw them, they all had the logo on. Now it's
Crazy animals.
yeah, it's slightly different. Yeah.
Nickelbacks is like what, a hairless rat chilling on a chair? Looking V happy.
It's a
World
spirit
Edits is
animal.
scared. Lollipop though, just trying to carry over a rifle. It's the only option he's been given yet again, similar to that previous round. And this time 4 surviving for Prosto, so they kept, what, 3 alive in that previous round, 4 in this one. It's going to be pretty solid for them to start building up a little bit of money, but they do also, of course, have to reinvest into some utility. Yakindar, he's going to have to buy up for himself, so they won't have loads left over, but obviously this round here for Nemiga, they're not really going to be investing much at all, so really only the M4 that they saved over to try and actually deal out some damage.
So definitely a large preference towards the A bomb site for Prosto at the moment. I think most teams are going to be swinging in there. It definitely feels like the most openable site anyways. Like B, I suppose like on most maps, you're very limited in how you approach it unless you have that heavy mid control. But evidently Prosto, you can see that they're not really taking anything towards middle at most. They're passively holding it. Look at this SMG rush coming through. Yakindar up close already. Lollipop's got the M4 though, so a good challenge for him, but down to 32 health. Being the only player with armor and the player that has the rifle, that hurts, but MDS, that's a huge kill. He had no armor and a MAC-10 going into that fight, and the AK misses all the shots, leaving them now with a 5 versus 2. What is going on here?
They've just crumbled. I don't know how this has happened. There's 3 players already over on this bomb site. There's a flank coming in. There's a rotation coming in through mid as well. There's very little at this point that I think they're going to be able to do, but maybe. I mean, they're forcing this kill behind them right now. They're able to combine to take down Box. As I said, though, that rotation also coming in through mid from Speedak, able to actually take down the player that was looking healthy. It leaves only Nickelback now 6 health against 3. Despite none of these players having Kevlar, only one having a rifle, I still don't think he really has much of an opportunity of pulling this off. As long as Nemiga ensure that they can play this together and at least try and trade it out. But I mean, for the moment, that's not the case. Jo though on a good angle with P250 only needs 1 bullet, and that's what he's going to find after a little bit of a spam. Gets himself another rifle, carries that over for his team. Unfortunately, MDS doesn't get to upgrade, but they invested nothing into that round. I mean, there was mostly just the default pistols, apart from, of course, as we said, that saved rifle. Then the MAC-10 retrieved, getting another kill. Suddenly they have an AK, and at that point, it was just done for Prosto pretty much.
Yeah, that was insane. Wouldn't have picked Nemiga as favorites to win that round by any means. And they do it almost flawlessly. Utility usage down on Ram, so Prosto have smoked it off this time, definitely feigning out a little bit of aggression there. Boxing, that's gotta hurt. He's just taking Yakindar out of the game. Good spam return, no way to read that though. So for Prosto, the ramp control is denied early on, but they still have the option to move in towards B, where they feigned out that little bit of utility usage. They saw a smoke thrown down. Now they've pushed up underneath the stairs, so they know that information is good. They've got that on lockdown. The player on ramp picked off, but they know there's at least 2 more. And this is being consistently held by Nemiga in the same fashion. One player getting aggressive down at sandbags, and then left and right. They have 1 each on short and crane. With the time ticking away, 1 minute left in the clock, still lots of time for Prosto to make a decision, but I think it's pretty clear that A has fallen for them. They've lost a lot, so going in there will be risky, but we've already talked about how much they like this A bomb site. There's huge preference towards it, and again, they start to move in here, having failed out on the B push earlier on in the 2 versus 5. They feel like A is going to be the one that they can win. Still a player posted up aggressively, but look at the rotate from Nemiga. They make the same kind of read because of those early fights that it'll probably be a B hit, but only as a player starts to push down below do they realize, oh, this is actually going to be A, and just in time, as before the executes even come in, they've now rotated 2 through. They've got a flank coming in at the bottom of elevators. This round for Prosto is starting to look very grim.
Oh, and that angle, the spam was perfect from MDS. Not only did he get that kill on Waylander, he tagged down World Edit in the back and makes it an easy finish for the Mac-10. In the hands of that flanker, Demasic pulls one back, but now he's left alone. The bomb's being dropped. There's 10 seconds. There's nothing he can do. As you can see, he realizes that as well. Just begins to back away with this Krieg so that he can have a rifle at least in this next round. The loss bonus, I mean, it's, what, 1900 coming in right now for all of the players. Not really going to be enough for him to buy up any pistols, apart from maybe Nickelback if he wanted to go for it. And even then, the buy in the round afterwards isn't going to be that great. Ideally, you want to see Prosto being able to pull out the op. You want to see Yakindar being able to start actually fragging. And he's having a slow start. I feel like he's definitely the player for Prosto that you do put as the standout. I think he's an absolute monster. Unfortunately, if he gets off to a slow start, sometimes he can struggle to get back into the game.
Those mid-round calls for Nemiga were really nice, though. In a 4v4, the CT side, you have a choice. Most teams will stack 2A, 2B, and just wait for that push to come in. You'll have a player playing around window who's going to be your fast B rotate in that situation, to be the second man there. But they make a really good call, which is to send one player aggressive on B, start a rotate just in case they're there, knowing that if they were all outside B, they found a pick, they would rush the B bomb side, so you need that rotate. He starts to clear out lower stairs, walks through, realizes it's clear, rotates immediately going around to A with the other 2, slow walking most of the way, making sure that that information, knowing now that the T's are most likely under elevators or coming up ramp, won't be heard, and Prosto just walk into their deaths. The flank was perfect as well. Only got the 1 kill, I think, but it was still left into a 3 versus 1 at that stage, so it was pretty unwinnable for Prosto. The clock really became their enemy there. I think you saw that they haven't played this map a lot. And great flash going through for MDS. He grabs a double off the back of that. The pistols, it's dangerous to play against them in that kind of position, but he's getting away with it.
Yeah, as you said, that could have been awkward. Could have lost the rifle potentially. Even if he went down, though, I don't think it really could have been retrieved. There was another player around the bomb site spotting it. But at this point, MDS, he actually goes ahead and takes the AWP for himself. Being low health, he can afford to play a little bit more passive around this A-bomb site. It's only Nickelback that remains as well, so he can just post up and hope to get that final shot. And then he does also have Box up on the bomb site itself, watching that alleyway. So not really much hope here for Nickelback, I wouldn't say. This angle being held by the op is pretty common, but it's just so difficult to deal with, especially when you're on your own. Ideally, when you're pushing forward, maybe the op gets 1, then you're able to trade it, but when you're in a 1-on-4, of course, that cannot happen. 4-2 now for Nemiga, and this is a little bit surprising. I was kind of going with Prosto for this map, in all honesty, and just in general, the matchup. I feel like Nemiga haven't been doing too great lately, but I mean, if there's any time for them to step up, it is now, because they're currently sitting, I believe, 4-6 in MDL, so not the greatest of records so far.
I'm surprised because what I'm seeing so far is a really structured CT side from them. And look at how they even changed up their hold the previous round. Yes, they were against pistols, but they didn't play the conventional as they have been, 1 a crane, 1 short. Now we're actually seeing an early rotate move through to middle, as they've got a very aggressive stance coming through in the A ramp. The issue for them at the moment, I think, should they be able to smoke or flash up, the CTs would have to fall back to the bomb site immediately, as the Ts could then make it up through short. Jo tried to get aggressive on mid, having rotated, but he's taken down. Luckily, the trade was there from Speedak to bring it back to a more manageable position, but the CTs still do need that critical information. They've got one player playing aggressive A ramp, and they need to make sure that he's not going to be exposed. Speedak actually swung out wide. That was so unnecessary in this position. Now A is completely open. The rotate they were going to make to B to presumably allow some aggression to come through cannot happen anymore. And now they're left in this position 3v4 with a man disadvantage, but they're so spread out and they've got such limited information that this round is very unlikely to go their way.
Yeah, no, that was really surprising. At that point, the player left alone on the bomb site needs to just play for the retake. But yeah, it didn't happen. He goes down, it kind of pulls apart the defense, and although it does end up actually going over towards that B bomb site, it's still not really ideal. But I mean, some nice flashes have slowed them down. The bomb didn't actually make its way up the B ramp because there was a player around the window, so he couldn't really afford to try and cross at that point. So instead, moving back to A, where Yekindar has already pushed his way around in through to the spawn. So an easy kill being found on MDS. I like that he instantly falls back and is like, okay, that's enough. I don't want to risk staying around here. I don't want to risk going down and leaving it in the 1v1. Instead, falls back and looks to try and just play alongside Nickelback. And as we can see, Box, he's going to be coming in on this ramp flank. Yekindar kind of spotting it and also spotting towards the spawn. Let's see if he's going to get the timing correct. I like the angle, though. Box jumping up on top of the sandbags, able to find the side, and now he's got the 1v1. This is winnable, but Nickelback, he does have a fairly unorthodox position, and as you can see, it's not expected at all. He actually decides to creep forward and catch him as he tries to move up on top of the scaffolding right there. So a third round finally being found here for Prosto, but there's enough money for a buy to be scraped together here by Nemiga. It won't be perfect, but they've got a little bit to try and fight back in and get around themselves immediately and stop Prosto from really chaining anything together.
Yeah, I like Nickelback's confidence in taking that position. 4-3 for Prosto. Oh, good nade going down. It's not going to deal that much damage for the player that had already pushed through, but Nickelback receives the butt end of it, down to 45 health. That's definitely got to sting a little bit. Maybe time to give World Edit that weapon, if they're close enough to each other. And Nemiga with a double op setup. It's solid stuff. Not something you see every day on Vertigo, and definitely not in this position. Speedak is so aggressive with this op. I think this is the first time I've seen maybe Short being held from further back, but especially in this spot, right up in their faces. This is essentially a shotgun at this point. Prosto playing much more heavily towards B this in this round than we saw them before. Having pushed out, but not too much utility used up. They smoke up the top of the stairs as well. Really trying to sell to Nemiga that they're changing their strategy, but it's going to be the same old push towards the A ramp, and MDS has found that out the hard way. Getting tagged up by the spray back through.
Yeah, but I mean, they do have a 4-man stack around this bomb site, so it's still going to be quite difficult for Prosto to get through. To say that, Yekindar did find himself a nice little headshot to open things up. Unfortunately, Waylander found by the aggression of the op there from Speedak, and oh, gets tagged through the corner of the box while he was jumping. Down to only 60 in health, but with the op, of course, can still just manage to fire off those quick one-shots and finish off some players. So down again to the 3v4 at this point. Nemiga, if they've managed to keep themselves the man advantage, they've still got this bomb site stacked up, and there's only 19 seconds. I don't know what Prosto can do. They've just got to go forward and try and force their way into this bomb site, and it's gonna be so difficult. Box up close to the smoke, though, over in the alley, goes down immediately. Lollipop only able to get one, but there's 7 seconds, and the op posted up, dropping that bomb, and at this point making it impossible for World Edit. He's just trying to hunt down the kill and stay alive off the back of it, although I don't think that's gonna happen. Jo comes in and ensures that World Edit has no loss bonus to work with. He's got $800 now. This is basically the first round of the game for him. He can get maybe body armor with a Glock, which obviously isn't going to happen. They will very likely just take an eco in this round, and unfortunately that means World Edit in the next. Probably going to be stuck on something like an SMG.
Maybe the Deagle again coming through for him. Poor guy hasn't had a lot of luck when it came to the economy so far. Still doing quite well, fragging-wise. Look at the early aggression from Box. That's beautiful. Down goes Waylander. Probably didn't even expect he could be there that quickly.
Yeah, I like that. Switching up. They know they're against very little, that they're against most a few pistols, so just bring it to them. Change up the pace and make them maybe be a little bit more cautious that you could be doing the same once it does come to that good round again. And just overall make them play a little bit slower, which you can see hasn't been working for Pros.
Nemiga have been fairly aggressive when it came in towards the Behold in general, just with utility and keeping them back. And you can see Prosto sent players there pretty much every round, but never found access. Eagle down below, misses the shot, unfortunately. So Lollipop's going to be deleting him, and it's all down to Dimisic to try and 1v5. If he can find a weapon, and or well, never mind even saving it. If he can just find some kills, that'll really be a mission accomplished for him. But that may even still be too difficult. Take away the armor, and well, they've already used up a lot of utility in this round, but it doesn't really matter too much. This has been a very surprising face of Nemiga to see, considering the results so far. Like we said, they haven't been that impressive in MDL so far. There's one kill going through for Dimisic. Look for a little bit more. They are pushing him down. The M4 losing the charge, but winning it out. JO takes him down. Good little upgrade from the USP as well. With 6-3, it's not out of control or anything for Prosto just yet, especially considering how their economy has just been manhandled. A pause comes through. I'm presuming this is going to be Prosto's pause and discussing where they want to allocate resources. Remember, World Edit doesn't have a lot of cash. The rest of the team's feeling pretty comfortable. They can get AK's armor, a little bit of utility as well. But even in terms of the game plan, like, it's definitely a time to rethink how they're approaching this. Their late hits towards A have been read again and again. We've seen them run into Nemiga stacks when they have tried to fake out to B. The aggression's been perfectly timed, bar that one round where Speedak swung wide on ramp, and that really cost them. And for Prosto, there's definitely a lot to improve on here for the T side. But again, like you said, Dean, they don't play Vertigo all that often. I think you're definitely seeing that Nemiga are the more comfortable team on this map so far.
Yeah, I mean, Nemiga have played it a bit more. They've lost it a lot more because Prosto haven't actually lost it. But as I pointed out, they had some pretty close games. For example, 16-14 loss against Sprout. And Sprout are a very capable Vertigo team as well. So it's something you do definitely realize that they can play. And Prosto, maybe they got in a little bit over their heads here. Again, the aggression coming in. We've seen Box in the previous round. Aggressive over towards B, this time straight down through that ramp smoke with a flash to follow it up, and with that finds himself one kill. I don't think it's really enough, especially with MDS being low, a 4v4 already favoring the T side, and the Opper being tagged up quite heavily. So Prosto, I think they're pretty happy with what they've been able to find here in the beginning of this round, and I want to see them maybe try and just group up and try and bring this towards the bomb site a little bit quicker, because it seems like Nemiga are being given a lot of room to work with. They can make those decisions. They can be like, okay, let's get aggressive around here. Let's push together. And it's working out for them a lot more often. So I'd like to see them group up, maybe try and just overrun one of those bomb sites a little bit faster before they let Nemiga get so comfortable. Again, it seems like they want to focus on A. They do have one player probing around that B bomb site. That's just Waylander, but even then I think he's beginning to fall back.
Yeah, they're really loving this A bomb site. Nemiga with the two-man hold towards it. They're going for that 2-2. Not what we've seen from them so far. They're far back. MDS very low. There's the first kill. Speedak down, with MDS being so easily killed. He has to play behind those smokes. He's getting aggressive still. Goes around the right side of the smoke. Comes on through. Already taken down one. There's the shot from MDS. No, the Molotov was there. He ran right into it. It's not like it just popped. It had been there for a couple seconds.
1G, 2G. We'll call it
so
that.
this is the problem now. You're into a 2 versus 2. Prosto have got the bomb planted. The 1-for-1 trade. Perfect. Waylander can play time. They have no idea where he is. He's coming in through short, but he threw that flash from deep short, allowing them to think that it was the ramp. Going out, spots Lollipop isn't on the defuse. Time taken away. Is he sticking that? Waylander comes around. The time was so low, but he just about caught Lollipop.
Did you see what almost caught Waylander there?
No.
It goes back to what you were saying, where they clearly aren't too familiar with the map, because he went to look up and throw a flash, but there was a massive wooden beam above him, so he had to run back a little bit further to throw it, and it almost didn't give him time to get in and stop it. So it kind of goes back to what you're saying. The players clearly aren't as familiar with this map as they would be others.
Still, though, considering that it's so obvious that they're not 100% comfortable here, they're doing quite well. 4 rounds out of 10 so far. That's workable, and they've put Nemiga down to an eco, so it's more than likely going to be 6-5. So, I mean, despite all the mistakes being made and the lack of comfort, on the T side specifically, it's so much harder to work with. If you're not familiar with it, they're still putting up a pretty good performance.
Yeah, I mean, 4 rounds so far, likely a 5th to be found, unless, again, they're able to fall to an eco, but at least this time there's not an M4 in play. Okay, now there might be an AK, though. A nice opening kill. I don't think they want to stick around and try and actually retrieve that weapon, being a little bit afraid that there is a few more players around that area. In the meantime, though, the B bomb site have been left completely open. Waylander, he creeps forward, realizes that they can go ahead and just take over this and pretty much have no more troubles. And that was actually only a Galil. You can see it has now been picked up by Speedak, so not the best of weapons. They could consider saving it because they're only getting 1900 in this next round, and perhaps Lollipop, for example, could do with it just so he can actually get out a proper buy with some utility behind it. MDS, on the other hand, I think he's going to look to see if he can maybe do a little bit more damage here with this P250. He doesn't have a lot to lose and has a decent amount to try and actually gain for his team.
He's been spotted now, so it's more likely that they exit towards CT, running right into Speedak with his Galil, which is unfortunate. What I want to say as well is Prosto, they've had a really good read now. Well, hold on. Speedak's about to get pushed down. 2 players coming out. They're swinging 3, in fact. It's a flash and play for World Edit. Now they know where he is. Flash should be coming over. They're holding on for a second. Oh, they don't want to fully hunt him? They're going to allow him to carry forward a Galil, but Speedak goes forward himself. Runs into his death. MDS pushing, no problem. He only had a P250. He wants to get a kill, wants to pick up a weapon. Fair enough, but that was a questionable decision for Speedak. Yeah, they'll still get a buyout, but that Galil could have went to Lollipop. I'm sure he'd much rather it. But Prosto had a good read there that they've been going A a lot. They've given that away. Now they know Nemiga's previous round now. They know that Nemiga's on a weak buy. So they decide, right, let's fake out presence A and then move to B because they'll probably over-rotate considering they've got the pistols and stack up. And you saw they got a completely open bomb site. So that's more just the team being good leadership and understanding of the game more so than to overcome any map knowledge that may not be there. Good opening kill concern for Nemiga. Refrag as well on middle for Jo. They're pulling it even further into a 5 versus 3. That's rough now for Prosto. They've lost, so they've gone for a little bit of a different approach, going fast down to B stairs instead of waiting for the utility at first. And again, because Nemiga have generally been keeping them back with util and not with actual guns peeking, that could have worked. And then they went for mid control as well. So clearly starting this round out intending to move to B, but now the decision might be a little bit harder to follow through on considering they've lost those duels. Although they are still keeping the bomb just down there on the B stairs.
Oh, quick flick from Speedak right there. Able to get rid of that lurker over towards the A side of the map. And that's very aggressive from Lollipop. Again, taking himself down. Was he in the smoke, was it?
Yeah, he was inside the smoke. I think he might have poked through it for a second, but as the solo B player, it was his own smoke as well. I don't know what that decision was.
Yeah, JO's just stopped this round. Free kill on Nickelback. He did also spot World Edit, I believe, going around the side. A nice boost above the window. Oh, not going to be expected, but he had to turn from the flash for a second. And that almost gave an opportunity for World Edit to get that kill, because I don't believe the flash was actually going to be able to actually block his vision. It came in just on the side in the little corner of the bomb site. But yeah, interesting boost. I don't know if I've seen that before. As we pointed out, we don't get to cast this map a lot. I haven't played it all that much either. It gets banned pretty much straight away on Face It.
Yeah. I feel bad for Prosto if they've just if they're not too familiar with this map. Poor Waylander peeking out. Or World Edit, sorry, peeking out. Thinks he's got the chance. Wait, which one was it? It was a W. It was Waylander, right?
I think so.
But he peeks out anyways, thinking, where are they? You know, I might get a shot on the stairs, take a couple weapons away from them, and then, oh yeah, dude's upstairs. He's floating above the map. Don't think there was a chance he was going to be checking that out.
Yeah, Waylander going down over towards B again quite early on. I mean, they don't have a lot to work with in this round, so it's not the biggest of deals. But in that previous, he kind of just charged through the smoke when we seen 2 players from Nemiga get aggressive over towards the B stairs, and didn't really have a teammate with him. There was someone close enough by that he could have called for and maybe tried to go for it together, so they at least could have traded it. That was a decent kill from Demasic. I mean, he might just try and get the bomb plant. Instead decides to tap it. Gets himself another quick couple of kills. Okay, Speedak and Jo going down. That's an op that he can go ahead and retrieve. It's actually 2 of them. Unfortunately, not sure how close these 2 remaining players are going to be, so instead taking his time, and as we can see, they're coming in on a quick flank right now, so Demasic, will he be able to do this? Actually gets the dink on Lollipop. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go to try and retrieve himself a weapon, but I mean, at that point, you probably presume that they're just rotating over from B. But nice try. I mean, done quite a bit of damage, at least in the end. Keeps the economy for Nemiga in an awkward spot where they have to reinvest pretty much all of it to buy in this round. And that gives Prosto maybe a little bit of a chance if they can get this round here to go into the final round at a half up against a Nemiga that'll be on a very weak buy.
The ideal scenario for them. Again, they're putting up a pretty good fight, considering the map that's in play, considering the team of Nemiga, just overlooking the results. On paper, I would put them as favorites, but obviously Prosto in MDL anyways, and in recent memory have been doing a little bit better. Prosto with early presence towards A, very quickly spreading up there to try and get the advantages, but instead they lose a player. The control of ramp goes their way eventually as you see the CTs fall back. But that doesn't matter. They've got the man advantage, so they're comfortable playing a little bit more passive, I say, as Speedak starts to push up through short. He excuse me, he wants to get right up in their faces. This guy's very confident with playing the aggressive angles on Vertigo with the AWP, and he gets a reward for it. Again, more of a traditional angle held by the op, but then he goes forward after finding that kill. The push from Jo was perfect. He's already dropped the bomb. Player bunny hop by, but down goes Nickelback afterwards to leave it all onto Waylander in the dream of facing a low buy coming into the next round, the final round of the half. It seems to be turning into a bit of a nightmare for them.
Yeah, Jo kind of just destroyed them right there. Took out 3. He's sitting 15-6 right now, 15-8 as well for MDS. No one's under fragging really. You just have those 2 players kind of standing out a little bit, and then other than that, it's 1 player on 10, a couple players on 9 kills. Over on the Prosto side, I mean, it's not too bad. Everyone also contributing, but at this point, it's a tough spot to be in. They kind of need this final round here, come out with 6 on the D side to feel comfortable, then swapping it over to their CT. If they're only going to be able to get the 5, I feel like Nemiga are in a prime spot to just try and finish this game off quite quickly. Well, let's see. I mean, 4 Deagles and AK. It's Demistic that has the AK. He's been playing quite well so far. He is the top fragger for Prosto, so maybe they can get something done here.
And there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to use the Deagle on this map. They're moving up towards A, which shouldn't shock anybody at this point. It's the comfort play for Prosto. And again, they've managed to net 5 rounds out of 14 so far. That's decent. That's workable, especially if you're not too comfortable with the map. And lower B, the rotates even come in. They've completely abandoned any presence there. They're going to try to move up. They know there's been an AWP playing here. They've got 2 smokes to play with. Already lining them up. Going to try to smoke off that AWP, who's playing the same angle that he did last round, so it's definitely going to be predictable. Molotov goes in just in case they try to get aggressive and play up in the boxes. MDS down to 44 HP because of it. Good handle by Prosto. They've got their utility lineup in play. They're losing a lot of health as they push forward just through those spams from the M4s. And only having Deagles, it's not as easy to spam back. They do get a bomb plant. The money doesn't matter at all, though, but it does flip the clock in their favor a little bit. Nemiga, with all their weapons and a lot of the utility left, though, have got a fierce chance of taking this on the retake.
Yeah, a little flash going to be going over that window as well, see if they can blind anyone up. And I think it did actually go ahead and make it a little bit more difficult for World at it. Able to find themselves one there on Jo as he pushes out. It was a nice flash coming in from his teammate Waylander over the ramp, but now 4-on-4 the weapons, as you said, still heavily favoring the CT side, and they have a smoke down on that bomb. They actually line up for Lollipop. And despite Nickelback getting himself one more, that is it for Prosto. Unfortunately, it will be the 10-5 half. Prosto going to have a tough time now coming back into this. Unless they pick up the pistol and get off to a strong start, I feel like maybe the CT side should be a bit easier for them if it is a map that they don't play too often. Because, I mean, if you're not playing that T side every day, it can be tough really to get going. It takes a while to warm up and kind of get back into the flow of things.
Yeah, certainly if you're providing such a heavy crutch in playing the A-bomb side the way that they have. You can see Nemiga had a heavy read on how they were playing. They were feeling confident with not having an aggressive B hold. Most rounds, sometimes they did, but even giving presence towards bottom stairs and leaving a solo anchor on the B-bomb site was no problem for them at all if it became necessary, and playing one player up in the window helped them a lot. The lack of pressure on B and on middle gave them all the room to work with when it came to finding information and realizing that, yes, it was an A hit for the 10th time. As Nemiga now move on to the T side, considering they play this map a decent amount, I feel like they're not going to be too lost. But again, Prosto will have more comfort. This is the other side of it. Look at those nades early on in the sandbags. That could have been devastating if there was a player lurking down there. A very common occurrence on the pistol round. Prosto fully rotated, having seen nobody on A ramp. They've got 5 players here. Now, I understand that, though. You've seen 2 nades and smokes being thrown. 90% of the time in a pistol round, when that heavy utility is used, it's going to be a hit on that bomb site. But as Waylander just found out, this is the exception.
Yeah, no, this is perfect from Nemiga. It got them up close here now to hold off the choke point with those Glocks, and it's so difficult when you're just running into a couple of Glocks holding up close. The angle from Jo as well, able to peek in through the side and catch one off guard, and they're just being pushed down. Nothing that Prosto can do at this point. Nickelback gets a couple, okay. Giving us a couple of hits, as you expect from Nickelback, but that's it.
God damn it. Look at this P2000 gameplay. That was nice from him, though. He was blind for so long, just running away, took it in the corner, took 2 heads, but that's all he could find, all his team could find, which is really not painting a good picture now for Prosto moving forward. 5 rounds on the board, lost the pistol. If it was the T side and they'd found a bomb plant, just like Nemiga did, or sorry, just like Prosto did, actually. They lost the pistol, they found a bomb plant, and then they got a strong buyout. That's fine. But this time, the situation's a little bit more dire. It's just pistols. They haven't got those 3 rifles to work around like they did in round number 2. And for Nemiga, they've got everything they could want. They've taken 2 SMGs to try and make that little bit of cashish. Although this isn't the round to do it in, as Prosto did decide on the 4 spy, so they've got lots of armor, lots of helmets as well, 4 of them.
You know what's happening is Demisic's at the bottom of the ladder right now.
Oh, indeed, I missed that. He's pushed all the way up. I thought it was a double short stack. So this is good. The players on the site just need to slow it down and try to stop Nemiga planting so their flank can come through, but they haven't succeeded in that regard.
Nope. They lost the player too quickly on the bomb site, that's what it was. I think ideally they wanted to try and stay alive, slow the actual push down, try and delay that bomb plant as long as possible, and give him the chance to flank back, and also for the B player to rotate over. I think they probably should have rotated the B player in the beginning anyway, once they got that player at the bottom of the ladder. Obviously, it was possible they could have been like grouped up with 5 around B, but even if you were going to leave that one player around B, maybe have them go a little bit more aggressive just to get that info. But yeah, now they're just being torn apart. And unfortunately, it is all SMG kills so far. So this is exactly what Nemiga wanted, to be able to build up their bank. You said this probably wasn't the best round to do it, but it worked out perfectly.
No, it absolutely did. Like, the thing is as well, they only took the 2 SMGs, which I'm eternally grateful for. So many teams take 4. I've seen 5 SMGs. I cried a little bit. It's just, it really wrecks you then when it comes to your full buy. If they've ecoed. If they haven't, if they force bought it, it can be okay. Because you've got plenty of chances to build up that cash. This is one of those times. One of those opportunities. Nemiga facing against 3 players with no armor. There's a couple of upgraded pistols. And obviously the 2 players that saved over have the Deagle's armor. Got Zeus, yeah, for Yakindar. Where's he playing with that?
Around the alley, I believe, just up close to it right now, over on A. So waiting to see if anyone's going to come towards him. Maybe he can steal away a weapon. I feel like if we do see Nemiga pushing here, though, it will be at least 2 players. So there probably won't be a lot he can do. That nade, is that going to fall right back down on him? Fortunately for Yakindar, doesn't do very much. The second player stacked up with him around the alley. They're deciding to go aggressive. Okay, yeah, this is dangerous. Yakindar is just chilling with his knife out at this point. I'm not sure what the goal is. He's gone ahead and decided to at least use the USP, so he has some sort of range. Flash around the corner. Nickelback staying up close to the smoke did have a little bit of a gap to work with, and there we go. Box goes down. They're all still stacked up around this A side of the map. This is where they want to finish it. There is a few Prosto players ready to actually try and put up a defense, and when I say try, they definitely do attempt it, but it doesn't go too well. 1 more kill only being found from Nickelback. Now it's all onto Waylander, and he's been smoked off for the moment. Okay, bomb plant was delayed a little bit. Maybe he can catch Speedak, and then with that have a 1v2, but no, doesn't hit the shot.
She's Lollipop and Box that fell. Both players who had SMGs, both players that found kills with the SMG in the round previous to that. And so they're not struggling too much on the back of that. Buying up the armor and utility pretty much negates the SMG kills at most. So Prosto, in a round like that where they've got such limited utility to use, I would say that obviously 2 kills is great, but considering all 3 rifles were saved over, it's not amazing. Look at Nickelback. This is something that Prosto did quite a lot, fading through that smoke after it was thrown onto the molly. And so this time, they're completely ready for it. They know what's going down. They're inside their opponent's heads. But Yakindar had a very interesting interpretation of how to rotate to the other side of ramp. Just jumping across the smoke. Didn't work out for them all too well. But they pull back the advantage elsewhere. But the player on B peeking through, and Nickelback pulls it into a 4 versus 3. Nemiga with mid control now, though. Speedax managed to find nothing. And the chances of this round going their way decrease quite substantially. They haven't got a whole lot of cash after the next round's full buy either. So this was a fairly important one for them. They need to at least make it costly for Prosto.
I mean, 2 kills so far. It's 2 on 3 with World Data also being low. This could still be a winnable round. Not only one that they can make a little bit more costly, but Nickelback, I like the spot. He's very aggressive. Box, it looked like he kind of checked it, but not good enough apparently. That's the bomb now being dropped. It's all onto Lollipop. He's lurking around through the back of this B-bomb site, obviously, and has gotten himself 1 more kill. But he's only got 35 seconds. Nickelback, he can just wait for Demisik to rotate in, as he already has now coming in to join him. So retrieving this bomb is going to be a very difficult task for Lollipop. He does have 1 flash, so I mean, if he places that well, maybe he can force the 1v1 and at that point give himself the opportunity. It's just not really possible anymore at this point. 12 seconds remaining. 2 shots come through from Nickelback through the bottom of the steps, and then Demisik can just peek out and finish it off. as you said, the buy for Nemiga not going to be perfect. Box is the only one really lacking, but it's more so they spend all the money that they had built up in those previous rounds. I think Box got a drop over, so that's not too bad. So they've got the opportunity to try and return one here quickly, but Prosto, obviously, they can't allow that to happen. If they do, the game is pretty much over at that point. Oh. Did Waylander just nade Nickelback?
I think so. Not the best of starts, that's for sure. Dean, do you believe in Prosto? Are you seeing the comeback? CT side, they're building up their buy. Is this where they make it happen? If they've got a man advantage?
It's possible. If they get up to 9 rounds here before they drop one, then I think they have it.
Okay, I definitely see it. Because, look, the performance they put up on the T side was solid, considering how many flaws there were in it. Now all they have to worry about really is rotations, but those early fights not going their way. Losing World at it in a somewhat unfortunate manner is not going to help. Good flash coming through from Waylander. Going to have the mid-peak in. And there's a frag. Divisik finds it, but the trade back. Jo keeps it going.
Nade, though. It was.
Yeah, confirmed Waylander naded Nickelback. And he might have stood a better chance of not winning the fight, but making it out of there alive with low HP had the nade not have hit. So it is actually fairly important, all jokes aside. The Nemiga now with an advantage in terms of HP and certainly in map control. Look at this. They're deciding to go to the B bomb site. And as Waylander moves forward, upgrading, I think, a pistol along the way, the B bomb site should be falling by the time he gets back.
He actually got himself an AK. I think he only had an SMG beforehand.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I missed that.
So definitely a worthwhile upgrade, but as you said, it could have been awkward. Makes his way back, actually, as Nemiga do take their time pushing forward. So an opportunity here if he can find 1 or 2 kills. If he can even just stay alive, that would be ideal. But sadly, barely even connects any bullets. I think he maybe hit Jo once to the body, but that was it. And it doesn't really leave Prosto with much of a choice. Nemiga and Yak in there just going to save these 2 rifles so that they can very likely just buy into this next round and see if they can fight back into it. And yeah, no, I'm not believing in that anymore. I needed to see Prosto come up towards 9 rounds before they were to drop one to really believe that they could have the chance. They needed some money built up. They needed the ability to buy right back in after losing one. And they obviously don't have that after taking just the 1 sole round, a stray round, and immediately dropping it again. It's not ideal.
Yeah, this just got so much more difficult for them now. Because, yeah, okay, the money is not going to be amazing on Nemiga. If they lose 1 round, maybe you can force out an eco, but they're in a position where they can comfortably eco for a couple rounds and then get a really strong set of buys. Prosto are going to have a really hard task ahead of them. And look at their buy as well. Yakindar drops a weapon.
Nah,
Dimasik with a FAMAS. Yeah, this is going to be 4 rifles at least. Then whichever.
Some money. It looked like they were considering it.
Oh, Yakindar took utility over an M4, so it's 3 FAMAS they've got to play with and 2 AKs. Still works. I mean, it's a relatively comfortable buy. Fast play out to B. This is going to be big. Waylander in there with 1 in a second as well. On the back of Nickelback's utility support. He's swapping out up to the Krieg, but Box has already made it onto the stairs. He's trying to catch an angle, and Harry Potter finds it. Now it's a 4 versus 3. Prosto still hanging on there just by a thread at the moment.
Yeah, it was looking like he maybe wanted a little bit more. I was hoping someone else would show himself. Nickelback, though, he is going to show himself now. Speedak had the opportunity for a quick headshot, and if he got that, it very likely would have been Nemiga just overrunning this B-bomb site. Instead, now the rotations actually come in. There's some assistance. Yak and there on mid can be flashing over and allowing for Nickelback to get the information that they've already begun to actually fall back from the B-bomb site, or at least down towards the bottom of the steps. So this is not looking good. I mean, Nemiga, they still have a 3-on-4. It's not unwinnable. But with Speedak also tagged up quite heavily, it's just not looking. It's not ideal for them. It really did seem like they maybe could have had the opportunity to pretty much take the round without 1 more kill.
Oh, hold on. This flash on ramp. I'll delay my point for a second. World that it has to fall back and makes the right call. Let's reimagine the scenario a little bit. Let's pretend Yakindar throws that flashbang on the first peak of Nickelback. Now you've got blinded up T's on the ramp, and Nickelback surely with a kill. But instead, they wait until contact's already been seen. Nemiga are falling back. And the read hasn't fully been made. Like, you've still got a very passive Nickelback, so they can run back up the stairs as they are without him noticing. So the stack on A isn't actually as foolproof as you would think. They're going to check the backside as they move forward, despite where they were throwing that utility, which was very risky. Nickelback's being spotted. Dimasik in there with a good swing, and 7 seconds left. He's going to hide till he hears that bomb being planted, and then move on forward. Look, time's gone now. They're not all going to push him at once. He'll find 1. He might even find a second, but time is all up. And Prosto at least managed to pick up the round. Again, we called into question where the utility or where the economy would be for Nemiga if they lose one. But honestly, I just want almost a full eco. Couple of pistols, grab a smoke, a flash, rush A, get it over with. No, you don't need to buy. Even the Krieg, yeah, they've got a chance of winning this, but it's 14-7. Just save up and get a really strong buy would be my preference. They're rolling the dice a little bit.
I mean, they've just gone for the kind of one hero rifle here for Jo. He's 21-9, so I think it's kind of fair that maybe he considers doing that. They'll still get a pretty good buy in the next round. Yeah, you know, that's decent. Like I've seen better scores, but it's up there. You know, 21-9 for sure. I want to actually you can check what his ADR is at this point, can't you? Know he's only got 51.5. It's actually been Speedak who's been destroying people this half. He's got 155 ADR, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. He'll be limited in the next round, obviously, but they'll still have 4 players on the full buy. He can pull out maybe a Deagle or something, or preferably maybe someone who's not playing as well, give him over a rifle. I don't know, but everyone's playing pretty good. There's 4 players on 16. It's really a team contribution right now from Nemiga, having a look at that scoreboard. It's good to see. Oh, Jo, there we go. Gets boosted up, able to go ahead and find Waylander. They work together to allow that Krieg to find the opening. And then there's 2 more players for them to try and get through towards this B-bomb site. And a potential rifle as well to actually be picked up for them to work with here. So it could get a little bit dangerous, but unfortunately Yekindar rotating in to give Demon6 some assistance as he actually gets 2 for himself and looks to finish off a turret as well.
Hey, I want to point out now a flaw in my thinking. See, I'm just not a very risk-averse person when it comes to IGL and Counter-Strike. I like to play safe, take the maximum win percentage in a round. Like, as you can see, Nemiga now have less a chance of winning the round because they've got 1 less rifle. Maybe minutely less because he can allow the rifles to take contact, etc., but still technically less of a chance. For Prosto, they now have, because of the damage done by Jo, Prosto haven't got a great amount of money. So if they lose this, they're facing then into a 15-8 scoreline, into match point with 2 players on a low buy. So in actual fact, it was worthwhile going for it. And I now appreciate why they've done it. It's just at the start of the round, it makes me very scared. But like you said, Jo's been playing insane, so that's a really tempting opportunity. This molly is perfect. Down on the sandbags, player's going to be forced into using the smoke. They know he's there now. This is where his teammates need to react. They need to be flashing. They need to be doing something to help him. Yekindar is getting a little bit of help with the flash. He's up on top of the sandbags. That's an aggressive stance if ever I've seen one. He catches Box completely off guard and lights him to 6. Good nade through. 1 HP. He's survived it. Of course he has. And they're stacked up on B now after showing A presence. They know how heavily Prosto were playing A in the first place. And there's only 1 player here. Nickelback has no support. The closest player is mid. Through the smoke we go. Deagle spam's good. Jo with 3 in a row hitting those shots. And that's going to be a bomb plant for the T side.
Yeah, I mean, that's a decent start into this round for sure for Nemiga, especially as Lollipop's able to find that frag onto World Edit. Unfortunately, doesn't survive too much longer, but as we see these CTs move forward, it's the Molotov that forces Speedak out into the open a little bit more, actually ends up burning before he can even escape, and now it's all onto Jo, being playing well, as we pointed out, but he's trapped on the bomb site, has to fall back on the Deagle, and it's not enough. Not even able to actually get any shots off, I don't believe, before World Edit comes in, or rather, Waylander comes in and gets his 2nd kill of the round. A nice round from Prosto. Nemiga, as we said, a little bit weaker on the buy overall. Jo, it didn't really affect him because he was able to pick up a rifle in the end when some of his teammates fell. But just a solid retake from Prosto. Nice usage of the utility. Nice Molotov as well being placed down, and just efficient trading. With that now 9-14, I mean, it's still possible here for Prosto for sure. This round only being some pistols. Again, Jo goes for the hero rifle. Okay.
Yeah, you can see again, though, why they want to do that, because they got a couple kills the previous round. Prosto's economy is going to be low, and Yekindar, Dimisic. That previous round was also huge from Yekindar. If he doesn't find, like, an insane amount of damage on the Box and almost kill him, that wouldn't have been as easy on the retake. Because in the 2v3, it was like, Box 1 HP, Jo lit up quite a bit. He ran out of ammo. He had no support. He'd lost every single position. Whereas Box would have been alive on stairs to hold that down otherwise. Nice early aggression from Nickelback, sitting down on the stairs. He sticks around. Maybe time to get out of there now in case they come through lower. That's down into a 4 versus 4 with Nemiga finding a couple of kills. Again, it's Jo. He's got a double, and his teammates all have armor this time. So a bit of a difference where they can support him now. If they pick up that Krieg, they're in for a good fight. Prosto need to recover this man. Disadvantage. Whew. Nickelback spray got me excited.
Oh, well, the nade was actually enough to finish off Speedak right there, so Yekindar and World that have been eliminated from this round so far for Prosto, and they are the two lower performers. You have kind of the three players who've been standing out for Prosto to try and pull off the retake, and unfortunately, Lollipop flanking in only manages to get 1 kill, but he is a massive nuisance and actually drops Nickelback down to 4 health as well. Demasic gets his head ripped off. Jayo's been playing fantastic and already has 3 kills to his name. Looking for maybe a little bit more, but Nickelback not really given any options other than to go back towards this bomb. Taps it to see if he can maybe bait out someone and get the first kill. And at that point, maybe have an opportunity to just stick the bomb, but it's not allowed. 15-9 for Nemiga, and a massive round from Jayo. He's 27-11 right now. He's playing just fantastic for the side of Nemiga, and unfortunately, we're not really seeing that for Prosto. Yekindar, the player that I personally want to see stepping up for them.
Yep.
The one who I feel like is definitely their standout player. He's 8-23 right now, and in World Ed, it's 8-19 as well. It's understandable that they aren't able to get this win when everyone on Nemiga is contributing to the game, and that's not the case for Prosto. Rip though.
Oh, okay. No damage has been done, so they can technically call this and push it onto a match medic, but they're still moving up a ramp, so it looks like they're going to be committing to a 4 versus 5 to playing this round out. Interesting decision making. Nemiga feeling very confident. Evident. It's very late on in the game, like 6 rounds between them. I would not be I'd be match medicing this. Just nope, stop the game. Let's go back. But they know there's a player sandbags. That's maybe the potential to trade back. Speedak playing anti-flash just in case some of the shenanigans go down again. This time it's the smoke that goes down on the cross, flash over, and he should be able to get out of there fairly safe. Solid stuff, different approach to previous, and you saw Nemiga had innovated. They were ready for Prosto to do the same thing as last time, play on the sandbags, use a flash to try to get a kill, whether on top or left or right. They're playing anti-flash, they would have shut that down immediately. Boxic rejoins the server. But again, they are playing this round out all the way. Prosto with a heavy stack on the bomb site. 4 players here at the moment. Good nade as well.
Okay, right around the Molotov, Speedak. The flash was perfect as well to stop Jayo from even being able to try and actually fight back. Another flash goes down and blinds up the player who was spamming through. It lets Jayo just stick that bomb plant, and unfortunately he will fall while trying to retreat. So, I mean, it's the 3-on-3, the weapons definitely favoring Nemiga, but they have a few players who are already heavily tagged up, and World Edit just doesn't care. Sprints straight through the smoke, hunts down Speedak on the alley, and now they have the advantage. They have a defuse kit, they have a couple of rifles to work with as well, and they've managed to trade it out efficiently. 10 rounds now being found for Prosto. 5 more if they want to bring this into an overtime. It's definitely achievable, especially when you look at the economy right now for Nemiga. I don't know if they want to buy up, but they may go for it. MDS, he's on 2,700. I think definitely one eco here should be taken. Maybe Jo can go for his hero rifle again, and even Den still have enough to actually buy in the next round. But no, I think they want to go for it. If they go for this, this is risky, because then they eco the next round, then suddenly it's 12-15, and there's maybe 1 or 2 more gun rounds for Nemiga to try and actually close it out. I mean, it's not terrible. MDS is the UMP. It's the main weakness. They even have an op for Speedak. So you can't really put too much against Nemiga here for going for this buy. It's winnable, and it's not too dissimilar to what we have here for Prosto as well. Having the MP9 in the hands of Yekindar, who wants to get a little bit more aggressive. I think he wants to try and build up some confidence, and there we go. A quick frag towards Box. Certainly a decent start. Unfortunately, it doesn't last in favor of Prosto for long.
Jayo's at least lit down in his escapades, which is something we can look positively towards. They're spotting the B ramp play. Swinging out, I believe that's Waylander up top. He played this before and got shut down. This time it's a UMP peeking him. He falls back. Hasn't got a molly to slow them. His teammate does, though. It goes down to the right side. Now they have a choice. Go through a molly or go through a smoke. But they go back instead. Yakindar's waiting. He's already come up on the flank, and down goes Lollipop. Smokes them off as well. Every time. Oh, that great nade as well. Jayo's out of here. Every time that Nemiga are making a choice, they're shut down. They try to push up to the left side of the smoke. They get killed. Then a Molotov, so no re-aggression. Okay, SpeedX got 1, but a 1v3. They know where he is as well. Flash is about to come through. He's not playing anti-flash either in that peak. Now they didn't go all the way forward. So he survives for a second longer.
He's going in towards 2 players still, though, on this B-bomb side. It's going to be so difficult. He spots Waylander and does quite a bit of damage, but I don't think he's expecting Demasic to also be around the back of the bomb site. So trying to clear around generators. Ends up just getting peeked and taken down from the side. And with that 15-11, 4 in the difference, as I said, now they've got to take the eco in this round. No way they buy again. And I mean, maybe a few pistols can be upgraded to give the chance for them to continue to get a few frags, keep the economy low, try and keep Prosto maybe on some weaker weapons in the next round, potentially just have to lack a little bit in utility or something. But this round, I'm not expecting much. It should be 12 for Prosto, and then there's probably 2 more gun rounds because the loss bonus, of course, is beginning to build up for Nemiga. But they definitely could have played this safer, and I feel like with that, maybe could have closed this out a little bit earlier.
You can see just in that 1 versus 3, when he saw the first player, he had a read on that he was being baited in. That's why he was obviously checking generators. But great positioning by Prosto to stack 2 towards the back of the bomb side. There's no way you could really expect that. You'd be a lunatic to be running forward watching that angle. And the timing was also perfect on the peak. Yekindar down the ramp. That's going to cost him. Good trade out by Speedak. But it's the SMG drop that he found a kill before dying. Obviously, the weapon retrieved isn't immensely valuable. Moving forward, looking for the players up close, but there's 2 of them, and they're about to swing together. Demisik up above. They don't know there's a player close right. Maybe he can find a little bit of damage on that Deagle. World Edit's continuing to aggress down, but as JO falls, now they're free to check close right. They've seen him, and they're swinging. No problem. MDS is down. That's the round for Prosto, as expected, and as it should be. By the way, Dean, our other game has gone live. So the next game we're covering here is Nordavin versus the Demolition Crew. I believe it is currently 3-0 to Nordavin.
Yeah, that should be a pretty straightforward game for Nordavin. Even with a stand-in, do they? Yeah, they still have Mixwell playing for them instead of Rubino.
Yeah.
That should be pretty straightforward. I don't really rate Demolition Crew that highly, and I think that Nordavin lineup is definitely one that you can be looking at as actually being one of the top few teams here in this season of MDL for sure.
Yeah, I feel like we could have done a lottery between any of the teams below MDL level and given them the spot instead. But for Demolition Crew and Nordavin, if you guys are here to watch that game, we will be jumping into that right after this, because obviously we're on the HLTV page. Maybe some of you clicking in going, wow, they've changed names real quick. No, this we'll be jumping into that game right after this. First, we got to see if Nemiga can close this out. And Dean, look at that! Like, that scoreline is scary. This is why we make those criticisms of teams getting so aggressive economically and treating the game like it's already done. Because for Nemiga, this is now getting scarily close to an overtime. And they've especially lost a player this round. Speedak's down 40 HP as well. Things can spiral so quickly. The only damage they've done is to an Opera, and we know full well if he gets into an aim duel. Well, okay, he's dead. He's been wall-banged to death, so never mind.
I think you jinxed it, Mitch, but
I did.
still the 4-on-4. Speedak's being tagged up a bit as well, so I'd say it's probably still a favorable spot here for Prosto, especially as they stack up the A-bomb site. Even rotating that 4th player over now as Waylander's holding around mid, so he can get there pretty quickly. Yekindar's been up close in the smoke, though, for quite a while with someone here on Ali, and he's going to realize that now. Lollipop, despite him getting the dink on him, of course, against the AK, he's going to go down to the 1. Now the bomb can be planted. It's a man advantage despite a couple of these Nemiga players being tagged up, but Nickelback himself also not looking too healthy, so this is going to be a very difficult retake for Prosto.
Nickelback got blinded and stood in a Molotov. He thought that he was good. Down goes 1. That's Nickelback. It was so low. Spray from Demisik doesn't land. And this is now a 3 versus 1 limited time, and Waylander picks up 1. Looking for a little bit more, jumps up on top, and he's spotted. Out of this game immediately. And they've done it. Nemiga managed to close it out. Just about, though. That was very, very close.
My camera started spinning mad. And
yeah, the auto director.
Yeah, it just went on a mad one. But yeah, I mean, I was starting to believe in that comeback there for Prosto, as you said. Some aggressive decisions from Nemiga in terms of the economy actually gave them the opportunity to start fighting back in. But even then, at moments, that kind of more aggressive style did keep the damage on, kept the economy modest, and did limit the buys sometimes for Prosto. So I don't know, it's a gamble in the end that does work out for Nemiga. They get that close, of course. But I don't think we're going to take too long here, of course. We want to try and get into that Nordavin versus Demolition Crew game. So I think we're just going to send it over to a quick break.
Yeah, it's 4-0 at the moment, so we better jump into that pretty quickly. So we'll catch you guys back in a few. Go and get a tea real quick. See you in a sec.